Well, hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Rice, and I have this beautiful, amazing lady here with me, Aimee. Aimee is a realtor in Central Florida, specifically from basically Daytona Beach all the way to Orlando. So, hey, Aimee, how are you today?
I'm good, Jennifer. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Great. Thank you for coming on. So, just tell us, about yourself. Tell us kind of what areas you covered. I know I mentioned Daytona to Orlando, and I'm sure everything in between, and, just a little bit about your real estate journey.
I am originally from New York. I moved down here in 2017 to take care of my mom. My previous experience is in retail management. So I managed retail buildings in New York City for 20 some odd years. I don't want to date myself too much, but I moved down here, like I said, in 2017, and I got into real estate. Um, in 2019 when I decided that my retail career was 100% over. Yeah, so it's going to be 6 years. Actually, my anniversary is on the 11th that I got my license, April 11th.
Wow,
Yep.
that is so awesome. So moving from, where is it? New York City,
Queens,
basically,
New York. Yeah.
Queens,
Yeah.
uh-huh, Queens, all the way to Orlando. I'm sure that was a culture shock, yes.
It was a culture shock, especially in the area that I am, because it was not so much anymore because we're experiencing a lot of growth. But it was definitely a culture shock because there wasn't a lot here at the time. We're definitely growing rapidly. But yeah, it's definitely a shock.
Okay, wow. Well, and tell us just a little bit about yourself. So, who is Aimee? What do you like to do for fun there?
I have a little 5 pound Yorkie that I spoil, of course, to no end, and he definitely takes every minute that I spoil him. I love to read, I love to learn. Um, I love working, which is crazy, but I do. I love to work, and I just like going and hanging out with my friends, going out to dinner, lunches, just being around people, going to different. We have a lot of different things to do here. So we have farmers markets, and there's yard sales galore, which we obviously didn't really have that much of in New York. So yard sales, and we have a great about 45 minutes away from here in Mount Dora is called. We have beautiful antique shops and things like that. So there's definitely plenty of things to do. We have a lot of nature parks and natural springs and things like that. So definitely a lot of outdoor activities. Obviously, we have Disney, right? I mean, you have to like kind of mention that, but there's definitely no end of things to do. Tons of shopping. It's definitely a great place to be. We're about 45 minutes from the beaches, so Daytona Beach, New Smyrna Beach, Ormond Beach, Space Coast, so I can stand on my driveway and I can see the
Mhm.
rockets go up. So
Oh,
that's really
wow.
cool. Yeah, yeah. So it's really cool, and definitely a ton of things to do here.
So it's like you have the best of both worlds. You're 45
Hmm.
minutes to the beach, maybe 45 minutes to Disney or something like that.
Hmm.
I always am so jealous for people that live in such a fun area. There's certain cities where, think about it, you have so many tourists coming to your area every single day of the year.
Oh
And it's
yeah.
like, I'm always so jealous because I just love living somewhere where there's a lot of stuff to do. It's funny because in Indy, we have mostly like conventions and things like that. So when people do come, I'm pretty excited, because it feels like we're in a fun place, but really,
Yeah.
Orlando is where it's at. So, okay, awesome. Well,
Mhm.
let's talk a little bit about, the areas you cover. Say someone, because as we know, many people from all over the United States want to come to Florida for
Mhm.
vacation homes, or they actually want to downsize and retire there. What is the market like? So, if a buyer wanted to say, hey, I want to move to Florida, what is the market like? What should they expect?
So I think that, we definitely are experiencing a shift in the market from when we were in COVID. And I, oh, we have second homes here, we really don't, we have a lot. We have a lot of new construction homes. So if somebody is looking to, move from another state here, they have plenty of options, either if they want resale or if they want new construction. We have a lot of 55 plus communities here, and we do have a lot of oceanfront residential and, second home properties or Airbnbs. So it's really dynamic in a lot of ways because we kind of service everybody and anybody. Our market is we're running about 325 to 350 as an average price point, so still very affordable. And then we're a little bit more days on market, so definitely do have a lot more options than we saw than we were in COVID. However, our new construction in that's kind of concentrated, especially in the Daytona market. So Daytona is seeing an influx of new construction. We have a Margaritaville here. So if somebody's looking to, get into Margaritaville, we definitely have that option as well. That's in Daytona Beach, and it's a huge community. And those homeowners there definitely saw an increase in their equity. But we
Wow.
also have tons of 55 plus, like I said. I mean, we have pretty much anything for anybody. And new construction right now, especially if you're kind of like tight on budget, is a really good avenue for you to take because they're giving concessions and interest rates are a little bit more manageable. So it's a good opportunity for a lot of people. Even if
So
they're
you
wanting
can,
to maybe move in a couple of years, you can still maybe rent it out for a while as long as the HOA approves of it, and then you can move down when you're ready. So it's a good opportunity for a lot of people.
well, and kind of speaking of that, I'm assuming you get, a lot of investors who are interested in the area, obviously. And speaking of Margaritaville, so you can live at Margaritaville. What a fun idea. And those are
Yep.
condos, is that right? Or,
They're actually bungalows. So
oh,
they have, yeah, so they have very small bungalows, and I think the smallest is probably about 1,400 square feet. And then the largest, it goes up to 2,300 square feet or so. And it's a beautiful community. And, during COVID, they were selling for probably about $230,000, and now they're worth almost quadruple the price. So,
wow.
yes. Yeah. So, and they
Wow.
have their own Publix. It's all Margaritaville out. So it's really a great opportunity to invest in the Central Florida market right now, even if you're looking a little bit farther out, but this is a really good opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, even people who, you know, I'm 44, so even people, my age, if they wanted to buy a great investment property, I mean, this area sounds like a great opportunity. I did want to ask you though, because I don't think it's secret that, insurance across the country and not just in Florida has increased. And I think, people have heard that, insurance is high, or maybe some properties are not able to be insured. Can you talk about that,
Mhm.
to help alleviate people's kind of fears about that?
Yeah, so, with the last couple of storms that we've had, the hurricanes that we've had, we've seen a lot of flooding in areas that we didn't normally have flooding. So that obviously created an insurance issue. So we had a lot of insurance companies leave the state. And now we're starting to see that influx back of insurance companies coming in here. So yes, it depends on the property. It is an issue. We haven't seen any additional flood zones being added at this point right now, the FEMA flood maps and things like that. But lakefront properties is definitely a challenge to sell. Beachfront properties, unfortunately, is an opportunity again. So if there is an investor that maybe can see the long-term benefits of it, it's more of the assessment fees on those properties and obviously the insurance. But we're seeing a little bit of relief, and I know there's some legislation coming that is going to help to relieve some of these things, even with taxes. Um, uh, just COVID, I think we were getting about 1,000 to 1,500 people a day moving here. So
Wow.
yeah, and we're still seeing people move here, but the affordability of Florida has kind of, declined a little bit. And now with the older generation is starting to move out and going to, states like Tennessee and Alabama and things like that we're seeing.
Okay. Well, and speaking of taxes, yesterday, I don't know where I saw this or heard this, but like you said, they are talking about maybe the homestead, relief for property taxes and things
Hmm.
like that. So that's always good news, right?
Hmm.
For people looking to actually move down there and live in that home. So what you're saying is, you are able to get insured down there. It's, there's
Oh yeah.
challenges everywhere, even, all across the country with people getting, insured, but they'll be able to get insured and it's still a really
Hmm.
good investment, right?
Yeah, I think our biggest opportunity is with insurance is making sure that the mechanicals of the home, so the 4 points, the plumbing, the roof, the HVAC and the water heater and the electric is all in recently replaced. That's our biggest kind of challenge with some of the homeowners and sellers right now. It's like their roof is perfectly fine, but they're probably going to have to replace it in 5 years and they don't want to have to take on that additional expense. Things are just more expensive. So, those are some of the challenges that we see with insurance. But ultimately, there's always something for everybody. We have a lot of vendors that do a lot of different things and can help people in different ways. So, we like that versatility in our vendors because, somebody needs a house right away, you know, we have options for them. So,
Well, and it's so promising because honestly, I hear people talking about moving to Florida all the time. So, I mean, you guys have in my opinion, the best things to do, the best weather,
mhm,
so many options. They can go to either side. They can go to the Gulf. They can go to, you know, the Atlantic side. They can go to Disney. They can go to the Keys. I mean, Florida just has everything. So, um, actually, I've talked to many people in Indiana because, of course, people don't like winters. And as they get
mhm.
older, they think, well, maybe Florida's a great spot. And it looks like it is. So, um, one last question. So, say someone was moving from the Northeast, because I do know that a lot of people from the Northeast and Ohio, for some reason, what's funny, and I don't know why so many people from certain states seem to move there. But if someone was in one of those areas and really wanted to move to Florida, what advice would you give them on how to find the best area they want to live in? Because for example, you cover so many areas, you
Mhm.
know, what's the best advice? Should they come down there for a visit and experience different cities? What do you think?
I think it depends on the person, but I do a lot of relocation. So I do have customers that are from Indiana and who have moved here from Indiana. So I have customers who moved down here from New York. And my biggest thing is because Florida is such a lifestyle state, um, I think that they need to locate themselves where their lifestyle is. So if there's somebody who likes to frequent Disney, it might be more beneficial for them if they if they can, to live over in by Disney, like St. Cloud, Claremont, things like that, because the distance is not so terrible. Or if they work there, for example, to live in those areas because of the distance. But for us, if you love the beaches, if you love like, Gainesville is probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours from me. We are also a college town, so we have Stetson University here. So I think it really just depends it depends on your lifestyle. If you're somebody who loves walking trails and nature, I would definitely say our area is the best place because we have access to, I think probably 7 to 10, maybe even 12 nature trails and parks and things like that. So, that's why we're growing so rapidly because we do have so much to offer and we're a little bit more affordable than the Orlando area, with not so much of a long distance drive to Orlando. So that's what makes this attracting to a lot of people.
Well, honestly, you seem like the Orlando to Daytona resource guru. You, anyone who I know or anyone watching this video, if you are looking to move to, I say Central Florida, but Orlando to Daytona to anywhere in between, Aimee is an amazing resource. She's an
Yeah.
amazing leader in her office and in Keller Williams as well. So, Aimee, thank you so, so much for talking with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.